no future. That's it. There's no other way of explaining it. Edom, which is America, is going to be destroyed. Edom, which is America, is going to be destroyed. Edom, which is America, is going to be destroyed. There's a lot of prophecies if you want to go just for two of them to see. One of them is in the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, and the other one is in the book of Jeremiah 49. You'll see the destruction of Edom. So really, the United States of America is destined to crash miserably. What matters is that the fact is that the land of Edom, the United States, is going to be destroyed, and it's going to start with economy, and then it's going to lead after that to many other things. At the end of the day, Hashem is the one who's going to control everything, and it doesn't matter who he's going to put at the head of the United States to bring it down. It doesn't matter.
The world has taught you to hate white people because Europeans are the Israelites of the Bible. Revelation chapter 1, verse 14. His head and his hair were white like white wool, like snow. His head and his hair. Snow in Israel, newsflash, is also white. Would you agree with this picture here? We have an Edomite who is similar genetically to actual Israelites, hence his light complexion. And then we have snow, okay? Snow and an Edomite, all in one. His feet were like burnished bronze. Now this one gets presented by the black Hebrew Israelites, and they go, look, burnished bronze feet, he's a black guy. But they didn't keep reading. It says, his feet were like burnished bronze when it has been made to glow in a furnace. This is molten bronze. That's what was being said. His feet are a glowing white color. His head is white like snow. His hair is white like white wool. Because the way he is depicted as a son of David who is ruddy with blue or green eyes. Israel's 12 tribes, there are 12 genetic clusters on the Lazaritis et al. PCA map. East Slavic, Baltic, Central European, Germanic, Balkan, Sicilian, Italian, French, Spanish, South French, Basque, Sardinia. 12 genetic clusters. Do those people match the description in the Bible? The world has taught you to hate white people because Europeans are the Israelites of the Bible. The 12 European genetic pools. This is the principal component analysis of modern West Eurasian. This component analysis shows us all the Shemite lines. G, J, I, and R are all represented here. You'll see Levantine and Arabic peoples and European peoples on the same map. Why? Because they're actually genetically similar. And then there's 12 distinct populations to the left of the Ashkenazi. There's 12 lost tribes of Israel. And those 12 genetic clusters are the Slavics, Baltic, Central Europeans, Balkan, Germanic. Don't get confused, Germanic includes the English and the Scottish and the Celts. French, Italian, Sicilian, Spanish, South French, Basque, and Sardinian. These people are all genetically closely related to each other. The Spanish person, the Slavic person, and the British person are all related to each other. Their 12 genetic clusters make up the 12 tribes of Israel. Critically, the Ashkenazi and Sephardi Jewish populations appear on the same chart outside the European circle, positioned between the European cluster and the Levantine populations. The genetic signature of a population that is neither European nor fully Levantine. They are Shemitic in origin, as haplogroup J is a Shemite haplogroup, but they are not Israel. Revelation chapter 3, verse 9. They say they are Jews and are not, but lie. Haplogroup R is genetically distinct from the rest of the Levantine peoples. Haplogroup R pulses into and exits the Levant. Haplogroup R is what the Levites have, which is also distinct from the rest of the Ashkenazi. Haplogroup R has the highest levels of tuberculosis and leprosy, which is exactly the diseases found in the Tomb of the Shroud in Jerusalem, a 1st century tomb. Also, the maternal haplogroups, including H, V, T, and W, are found in Europe at their highest levels. The tomb in Jerusalem points to Europe. They've forgotten that they're the Israelites, which is biblically prophesied, but they have a remnant. They are visited early by the apostles, and we established that with multiple independent sources. The British Isles were visited early after the resurrection. And then in the last days, they have to be north and at the ends of the earth, and they are exactly there. Haplogroup R is north in Europe and in Russia, and they're also at the ends of the earth in South America, South Africa, Australia, and New Zealand. Revelation chapter 3, verse 9, behold, I will cause those of the synagogue of Satan who say that they are Jews and are not, but lie. I will make them come and bow down at your feet and make them know that I have loved you. You must define who Revelation chapter 3, verse 9 is. Because I don't see any Christian Zionists talking about this passage at all. They're just talking about, you gotta support the Jews, they're God's chosen people. Ted Cruz went so far as to say, listen, that if you say Christ is king, that's an anti-Semitic statement now. Is that crazy? He said it. That is a man who has received millions of dollars from AIPAC and cannot be trusted. I'm actually thankful that the mask is off the Zionists. America is a vassal state and has been for some time. John F. Kennedy threatened Israel, the prime minister, and he said, hey, we're going to oversee your nuclear program or you're not going to have one. And he said, you will seriously jeopardize, this is a quote, seriously jeopardize, end quote, the relationship between the U.S. and Israel if we don't oversee your nuclear program. He got shot a few months later. Publicly, ritualistically, in front of everybody, we run your country. Charlie Kirk starts speaking out about Zionism, being negative about it, shot in the throat, publicly, ritualistically, in front of all of us. Well, I'm not thankful for their deaths, but I am thankful that it has caused so many to question what's going on. Why are we attacking Iran? Israel wants to. That's a vassal state. When another king says, raise up your army and come fight this other king with me, read it in the Bible. That's a vassal state. My question is, do you still want to be a vassal state? And if you don't, you're going to need to learn who the synagogue of Satan are, so that you understand you're not dealing with the Jews of the Bible. They don't return and rule Jerusalem until the day of the Lord when Jesus returns. That's clear in Jeremiah, that's clear in Ezekiel and multiple other prophets. They don't come rule Jerusalem until Jesus comes. If you just understood that much of Bible prophecy, you would know, oh, the group that's there right now isn't the Jews. So Ptolemy writes this, quote, the Jews are such by nature and from the beginning, whilst the Idumeans, Edomites, were not Jews from the beginning, but Phoenicians and Syrians, but being afterwards subdued by the Jews and compelled to be circumcised and to unite into one nation and to be subject to the same laws, they were called Jews. They were called Jews not because of their descent, but in regard to their religion and manner of life. Hence, it was that the kingdom of Herod and his posterity were called, quote, the kingdom of the proselytes, end quote, by the Hebrews. This all comes down to Jacob and Esau. Esau pretending now to be Jacob and steal his lands, and Jacob soon coming and taking back the land on the day of the Lord.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, Hashem, YAHAWASHI, Hashem, Rakwakwadah. Double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Shalom to my Akim Wakwathim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity, as well as the speckled bird that may look like the other nation, but are actually Yasharallah. This is Brother Kawak up command. Now listen, I'm not gonna lie, I was about to talk about some of the things that he was saying, but I just remembered that I do not want to just regurgitate what this brother did and all the stuff that he was talking about. So I'm gonna try to keep this as a separate video and in my own observation, which is that the subject that I'm talking about is more so that you now have people that are creating this doctrine of all different sects of white people are the fucking Israelites, X, Y, and Z, and stuff like that, which it's so here is such a ridiculous thing to say when the biblical prophecies just clearly do not fit them. And it's just like, how is he saying this? How is he coming out with this, trying to push this narrative so bold-faced? And you know, the crazy thing about it is that people will believe him. People will follow after that type of stuff, even though the scriptures do not support that. He said, and I'm over here trying to get into it. Slocky, I'm just going to say right quick. He basically referenced scriptures, but he wants to, like, he literally used a different translation and said glowed in a furnace rather than burn in a furnace, which it's so fucking honest. I cannot believe what I was listening to. Anyway, Slaki, I'm not gonna talk. This is not what this video is about. All right, but Slaki. So, as a result of that, what I'm getting into, and I was gonna also play this, but let's just skip this for now. Romans chapter 1 verse 25, who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. And the thing here is that the prophecies are what, let's get that precept first. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. All right, so the Lord put these curses to be a sign, as in like, okay, well, like for example, if you go to the airport and whatnot, and you're looking for your ride or whatever, and after you just got off the plane, someone has to hold a sign that says, "Hey, Bob, I'm over here waiting for you," and stuff like that. Someone has that sign, like waiting for Bob or whatever, and then you see that, okay, this is my ride, even though I've never met them before, or I have met them before, or whatever the case. You get the point where that is the identifier, where you see something that, because this is so big and an identification for who or what it is with the narrative, the situation presenting itself. As a result of that, that is how you identify stuff. That's how you determine, okay, this is who's who, this is what's what and whatnot. Where with these signs, with the curses that's on us, this is how we determine that we are the Israelites and not the other way around, because they're not under the curses. They're over here and over there abusing their power. They're over here having power over people and stuff like that, doing all that they want to do, all right, having control over all this stuff. But yet they're not ruling under YAHAWAH. Their actions are that of wickedness. All right, they're pushing all these laws to be evil, malicious, destructive to not just our people, but to their people as well. All right. So as a result of that, there ain't no these people are not no religious nuts and stuff like that. They're not doing good, trying to push good. They're pushing evil. All right. But yeah, you got this dude that had the audacity to try to push that. It baffles me that people are able to say stuff like this when facts clearly contradict the things that he says. So once again, Romans 1 verse 25, who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. And that's what's going on, where these devils are worshiping themselves. They're more worried about pushing their own evil wickedness and all that stuff, rather than something that is actually righteous. All right, or even YAHAWASHI. They have long past abandoned wanting to follow the words of YAHAWASHI. Like they just do not. And hell, I'm pretty sure. Obviously I know about North America, but I'm pretty sure in Europe they push all those alphabet stuff and more things. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but you basically get the point where all their laws are contrary to what YAHAWASHI established. But yet these are the people of YAHAWASHI. It doesn't make any sense, and it's clearly not fitting. All right. Revelation chapter 2 verse 9, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Let me also get this to kind of prove this. I just want to say Matthew 5 verse 3, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. It says blessed are the poor, okay, as in carnally poor, spiritually rich. They are blessed in the spirit. All right, which let's also go back to this. Revelation chapter 2 verse 9 says, I know thy works, tribulation and poverty, physical poverty, but rich in the spirit. Okay, and that's what, and that reminds me of over here in Matthew chapter 6 verse 19. Lay not for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Where it's beyond obvious that Esau's treasures are on the earth. Esau's treasures are carnal. So naturally, that's what we're seeing. That's what is going on right now, where their hearts are in the carnal things, the physical things, rather than the spiritual things. They don't care about the spirit. They care about stealing it. They wish they could steal the things in the spirit. They want both the carnal and the spiritual, but they can't have both. All right. Now, Jeremiah 16 verse 19, O Lord, my strength and my fortress. Hold on. And I pray that this is recording. Okay. Yes, it is recording. Jeremiah 16 verse 19, O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come up unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. So this is the thing here, where these devils have inherited lies. They change the narrative, and then their ancestors said, oh, this is who you are, this, that, and the third, whatever, and stuff like that, when reality and biblical prophecy shows otherwise, and removes that smoke screen. All right. Romans 16 verse 17, now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause division and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. Verse 18, for they that are such serve not our Lord Yahawashi and MANASHAH, but their own bellies, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple. Okay, so the thing here is how you have people like that's so hyper fixated on wanting to push that lie, and again, like they just took all that. They said, there's multiple European countries, so let's use that and copy them and stuff like that, when that's not how shit works. That's definitely not how thing works. And he's a freaking devil for doing that. He just copied what he heard from Israelites and thought, oh yeah, I'm just gonna push this off as fact, or push this off as a white adjacent thing, or whatever. Then we also get this, Isaiah 46 verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. And this is the thing here, where the Lord, he established biblical prophecy. He said that some stuff was going to happen. So Esau is trying to paint a narrative that the prophecies are going to change this way, it's not going to be like that, or it's this and that third. He's trying to change what was established by YAHAWAH when YAHAWAH said this is what's going to happen, this is how I'm going to do it. He did not say that he was going to send that's surprising, I will say, because he did say that the people that are in that specific nation, that specific land are not the people. That is something that people, as the brother had said, that no one really, or no Christian really talks about or gets on. It's ever so rare, if not, I don't even think I've ever heard that before in my life. So that's what I'll say. I'll say I've never heard that before from a Christian. So as a result of that, that's where the biblical prophecy has to line up before people just start saying whatever. All right. Now, yeah, I think that's it. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. We give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, Shem, Yahawashi, Shem, Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, abad, Shalom.